Welcome back, team. How's it going? Welcome to another motovlog. Hopefully this one with better sound than the previous ones. I hope that wherever you are in the world that you have a smile on your face and that you're feeling good, and if that's the case, you know what to do. Pass it on and make someone else feel just as good as you are today. Gotta warm up the tires here. Because it's like 60 degrees right now for some reason, LA. But remember, global warming, it's not real. It's more like global cooling. Some of you that are not from LA, like myself, didn't know what we were getting ourselves into before riding in this city. So, this video is 5 things to help you survive LA traffic, freeway edition. Number 1, make sure you have gas. This is a big one, and it might seem like common sense. However, you do not want to be caught in the freeway, possibly in the HOV lane, with no gas. It's hard enough to try to maneuver the freeway. It's hard enough to enter and exit the freeway in LA. Make sure that you have a full tank of gas before your commute. Come on, girl. You got a drinking problem, and I'm okay with that. Not that gas stations are scarce in LA. That couldn't be further from the truth. But the fact that there's always some kind of construction going on, a road blockage, an accident, or, I mean, heck, they could just be packed to the gills. Usually every morning that I come to this specific gas station, it is completely packed, and there is literally a line of cars that I have to wait before I can get my gas. So it pays dividends, and it's going to save you a lot of time to just make sure that you have enough gas to make it to where you're going. Especially in LA, you do not want to find yourself stranded on the side of the 405 or the 110 or the 5 with no gas. There will be no way to frogger across from the shoulder where you're stuck over to the other side. Maybe in some states where the traffic is not as prevalent, where it's not that big of a deal, you might be able to do that. You might be able to run it, but especially here in LA during peak hours, during rush hour, that is going to be impossible. And the longer that you're sitting there waiting for gas, waiting for AAA or for a friend to give you a tow, the longer you're going to be exposing yourself. You've seen the videos where the cop has pulled someone over and then they get hit from behind. That could happen to you. So please make sure that you have some gas. Make sure that your bike is always fueled up before you attempt to take on LA freeways. Going to make a ride here. Oh, I hate this road so much. It's got like the gnarliest bumps where I need to time it like I'm playing a video game, otherwise my nuts get crushed. Tip number 2, know where you're going. Especially if you're new to LA, try to familiarize yourself with the freeways around you, the entrances, the exits. You do not want to be lost. There are some streets in LA that you should never ride. One of them is in downtown LA. It's full of nothing but potholes. It is insane, and I just don't recommend it. So if you don't have your phone set up right here with your GPS going, and I don't, make sure to take the time to at least know the names of the entrances and the exits that you need to take to get where you're going. Traffic moves fast in LA. You do not have the time to pull over and try to figure out what exit you're gonna take. You don't have the time to ask somebody. Trust me, I've tried that too. And while some people can be helpful, the majority of people are it's a lost cause. Forget it. They might be just as lost as you are. Everyone in LA has GPS already built into their cars, into the newer cars. or they have maybe even 2 or 3 phones with 2 or 3 different GPSs, because things happen quick here and you need to know ahead of time. And just like you need to look ahead when you're riding, you should also be planning ahead your route. Know what exit you're taking. There is no way to do this safely, to go from the HOV lane, jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perhaps even 6 or 7 lanes of traffic. So remember, know where you're going, be at least familiar with the route you need to take. And if your route is a long route and you're not sure that you can remember all of the turns and exits and all that, find a midway point, or maybe even 2 midway points where you can pull up safely, and then you can pull out your phone and then look at the rest of your trip. I don't ever recommend that you stop on the shoulder of the freeway to check your maps. Again, stopping on the freeway is probably the last thing I would recommend to anyone. Don't stop to check your phone. Don't stop to take a call on the freeway. It is very dangerous in LA. Tip number 3, when riding in LA, and actually riding anywhere, but specifically in LA because people love to throw their garbage out of their windows. Keep your distance. There's a lot of garbage on LA freeways, and you'll never know when your time is up and you're gonna come up against a 2x4, a sink, a toilet. What did I see that? Oh, there was a piece of like a carnival ride, like the merry-go-round, the carousel, like a horse's head. I thought it was in The Godfather. It was like a horse's head on the middle of the road, and I actually had to, do one of these like quick ducks, or weaves. Ducks, horses. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I had to weave because I think I was doing about this speed, about 80, and I mean I was following probably about this distance from the car in front of me that I currently am. And then he went over it, but he cleared it. It was a truck. And then I was right in this path, so I had to do like a quick, and it's like, that's something you don't want to do when you're doing 80 miles an hour. Keep your distance from the car in front of you. You never know what they're gonna kick up. There's a lot of garbage everywhere. There could be a pothole. There could be something else that requires you to brake, requires you to practice an evasive maneuver. And as much as we don't think it's ever going to happen to us, it will. At some point, you will have to deal with that. And the outcome of that is going to be one of 2 things. You either successfully evade it, or you don't. And if you don't, and you hit it, well, you are probably going to go down. And again, just like you don't ever want to go down when you're on your bike, you definitely don't want to go down in LA traffic, because the car behind you, most likely the person is on their phone, they're eating a burger, they're having a very important business call, the lady's doing her makeup while she's driving. They're doing everything except paying attention to you. So if you fall, they're gonna run right over you. And that's no joke. That's no joke. I haven't seen it happen myself, but I know of people that it has happened to. Be aware, keep your distance. You never know when somebody's gonna kick up a 2x4 right at your face, a bottle of water, a piece of metal, and any of those projectiles coming at you at 80 miles an hour is definitely gonna hurt. Not only that, but apparently, and for some reason that I still can't figure out, I couldn't find my gear there. For some reason that I still can't figure out, people sometimes think it's okay to drive as fast as possible, get on somebody's bumper, and then when they brake, then just slam on your brakes. So they go from 90 miles an hour to 40, like this. And if you're following too closely, you might not have time to react. Number 4, get comfortable with splitting and learn to stick to the HOV lane. Whenever you're on the freeway traveling to your destination, make sure that you're always taking the HOV lane. The other 3 lanes or 4 lanes to your right are going to be more dangerous, I believe, than they should be. You see this biker up ahead, he's moving over to the HOV lane. Always stick to the HOV lane. It's where you have the best chance of not only A, getting to your destination as quickly as possible, but also B, not being hit by somebody changing lanes. Now, it doesn't mean that the HOV people are not going to jump in and out of it. It just means that it's probably the best lane to split as far as statistics go. I think of every other lane, this is the safest lane to split. And when it comes to splitting, this goes back to way before you ever think about moving to LA, before you think about buying your bike, taking the MSF, and jumping on the freeway. As a new rider in LA, learn to split. If you don't know how to split, oh, hi, officer, how are you? Always wave to the cops. If you don't know how to split, oh, ballsy, I like that. Maybe that's his exit. Oh, he didn't hear me. It's okay. If you don't know how to split, learn and get comfortable with splitting. Splitting is, in my opinion, essential to... What are you doing, bro? Oh, he's on the shoulder there. Studies have shown, and I guess this is up to debate to whoever wants to debate it, but studies have shown that it is much safer to split in between two cars than it is to stop and wait in traffic. In LA, people again do not pay attention. They're always on their phone. They're eating. They're looking at something. They're arguing with their side chick, whatever. And the last thing they're doing is they're actually paying attention not only to the road and where they're going, but to even motorcyclists. So if you stop behind the car and then they don't stop, they can run right into the back of you. And that's gonna make for a very bad day. You're gonna get pinned between two cars, and that's never fun. So guys, always just get really comfortable splitting. The way that I did it is I went to a parking lot first, and I split in between cones. I had some cones. I also took the MSF, which doesn't specifically teach you splitting, but it's helpful to an extent. But just also with splitting, know the width of your bike. Know how wide your bike actually is, and what you can split, what you cannot split, what you should not split. Just learn the dimensions of your bike. Bro, you're back. Bro, what was all that about? That whole thing about? Hold on, I have questions now. You don't want to be like this guy? He's been moving from the HOV lane all the way to the right lane and to the shoulder of that lane. He's been going back and forth. Look, if you know how to do that and you can do that safely, cool story, bro. But that's not the point, right? The point is to be as safe as possible, and you want to avoid things like that. Let's say you're on the HOV lane. Let's say that this is a double yellow right here. Double yellow or double white means cannot cross. People will cross that all the time. So just because you're splitting and you're splitting in the double yellow or the double whites, don't assume automatically that you're safe and that they're not going to do it, because they will. People jump that to make it to their exits. People jump that because the HOV lane all of a sudden slows down and they don't want to wait in that, and so they jump over to the next lane, and they will not even use a blinker. Also, in LA, I don't think blinkers mean anything. That's just my personal opinion. Somebody could have a blinker on because they just forgot to turn it off. Their car didn't automatically cancel it. Or they might have a blinker on because they just took that right. Like they have the right blinker on because they went right and now they're about to go left, but they still have the right blinker on. That can still happen. Or conversely, they just won't use their blinker at all. Tip number 5. Use your blinkers and your hand signals, especially on the freeway. There's a lot of very effective methods to be seen on the freeway, But one of the most effective methods is to flail your arms like a crazy person. Learn your hand signals. If you're gonna switch lanes over to the left, then put your hand down like this, look behind you, make sure they see you, and then you can switch over. If you're going to switch over to the right on the freeway, you know the drill, but this time you're gonna go up like this. That means you're going right, look to the right, switch lanes. And also, it's good manners, good etiquette as a rider to not only use your hand signals, your blinkers, which mine are broken. That's why I rarely use my blinkers, because I can't. I can still gotta fix them, but that's of course on me. Be courteous to people, say hi to them, especially if you're splitting or you're trying to get around someone and they literally move out of your way. It goes a long way in a city where everyone seems to hate everyone to give them a little peace sign, thank you, a little wave, a little nod. Trust me, it's good. It's good because you do that to someone, you give them a little peace sign or a nod. That person is going to remember us for what we are, a group of people that like riding and not a group of hooligans or outlaws or criminals or whatever people see us as. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying till the very end. These were just some tips off the top of my head that I thought would be worth sharing with you and making you aware. I did get some people asking for a video like this, so if you like it, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe, and I'll make another one in the future probably. Alright, buddy. That Sonata has some power to it. But yeah, please stay safe out there, guys. I do hope to see you riding around with a smile on your face. I mean, I won't see your face because you'll have a helmet on. I'm gonna finish up my ride here. That's gonna do it for today. Thank you so much. Love you all. Peace.